In this video, we're going to take a look at UConn. Could they go 37-0 as well? We will take a look at some of the updates from the recent inter-squad scrimmage, which will include looking at who's up, who's down, and who might not be playing in 25-26. Before we start, if you enjoy the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. All right, let's get into this. So first, let's get to the teaser in the thumbnail. Yes, I understand it's easy for YouTube Guy to make bold predictions when you're not the one playing, but I do think UConn will go 37-0 this season. And if that does not happen, then no doubt I will get snarky comments, which are deserved. As well, anything can happen in a season in terms of injuries, or just an off night can cause you to have a loss. But unless they suffer a significant injury or, again, a really, really off night, I just don't see them losing. They haven't lost, or their record in the Big East since they rejoined in 2021 is 31-3, and I don't think they will suffer a Big East loss this season. And then their non-conference schedule, obviously they are not playing South Carolina. And then the other teams that are on their schedule, the non-conference teams, their tough games are at home for the most part. So let's take a quick look at the non-conference games. And let's go from easiest to hardest. So Ohio State, that is at Hartford. Ohio State is currently outside the top 25. Yes, they have Jelani Cambridge. The other tough thing with Ohio State, they can get you with that press if you're not ready for it. So it could be a messy game early in the season that could catch them off. Next would be Iowa. They're currently ranked number 22. That game will be at a neutral site as they are playing at Barclays. The next team would be USC. Currently, they're ranked number 19. No Juju, no Kiki, Ariafin. Well, then that spells trouble for USC. Yes, they have Davidson and Kennedy Smith, but I don't see them taking UConn. Although I will say this is a dangerous game for them, as it will be on the road at USC, so they have to travel to it, and it could catch them. I could see that a danger game, but again, I would expect UConn to be favored in that game. Notre Dame is the next toughest game for UConn. They are currently ranked number 18. Yes, they lost Olivia Miles and Kate Caval to the portal, and a whole bunch to the WNBA. Sonia Citron and Maddie Westbelt. The only fear there is Hannah Hidalgo. She's gotten UConn twice before. If she does it again after losing all those parts, then much like Andrew Toney used to be the Boston Strangler versus the Celtics, yeah, Hannah Hidalgo would be termed a UConn killer, no doubt. UConn starts the season with Louisville in Germany. They are currently ranked number 17 in the ESPN way too early poll. I just can't get out of my mind the beatdown that UConn put on Louisville last season. I know a new season, different players, but yeah, I just don't see it. The only danger with this game, the biggest danger for UConn in this game is just you never know what you might get early on in the season as you're trying to still work through things, figure out what your rotation is, and anything could happen just because it's so early. Michigan is probably the second toughest game they will have in the upcoming season. They're currently ranked number 15 in the way too early ESPN poll. They've got Silas Swords and Olivia Olson who can light up the scoreboard, but you'd expect UConn to handle them. The toughest matchup they'll probably have would be number 11 Tennessee, but that game's at Hartford. Tennessee has a lot of incoming freshmen that they're dependent on. In addition, the status of Ruby Whitehorn remains unclear. She remains suspended indefinitely. She pleaded guilty to misdemeanor charges of aggravated trespassing and vandalism. Will they let her back on the team or not? To be determined. Even if UConn loses one of these games, that's almost the best thing that could happen to them. Last year, obviously, UConn was able to kick it into another gear once they lost to Tennessee, but they were able to test themselves or prove themselves versus South Carolina after having that loss to Tennessee. Unfortunately, they don't have the South Carolina test this year, but ultimately I don't think it matters because they are so stacked anyway. If you have AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong on your team and then all the parts that they have around them, yeah, I just don't see anything stopping UConn this year, which is a nice transition to their inter-squad scrimmage. And full transparency, I did not see the scrimmage. A lot of this is taken from well, all of this is taken from Dan Conley. He attended the scrimmage and gave the following observations. So, first of all, they were broken up into Team Blue, which was KK, AZ, Caroline Ducharme, Sarah Strong, and Ice Brady. Team White was Heckle, Fisher, Zabel, Patterson, and Sarah Williams. There was also a Team Red, the guy practice team, and they would play each other. Team Blue played Team White, and then one of the teams played the red team, and they just did a round robin. Overall, his takeaways were, well, one, it's interesting. It looks like Morgan Cheli, she is injured and still not able to run yet. They talked about how it started off, they would run from one side of the court to the other side of the court, and she is still hobbling. I think it's looking quite likely that she is going to redshirt this year. The other players that appear to be managing injuries, El Alfie, she was dressed but didn't participate in the practice. Quiones, she participated in the initial drill before stepping out and didn't participate in the scrimmage. As well, it appears Shade has a quad injury. She had an upper wrap on her right leg and went through all the drills, and they said that she ran with no restrictions but set out the entire scrimmage. The other injury issue, well, I don't know if it's really an injury issue. Ali Zabel is wearing a face mask. I believe she had nose surgery in the offseason, and they're protecting that. So who played well? So Conley had the risers, Caroline Ducharme, Ice Brady, Kayla Heckle, and Yana Patterson had them all playing well. The players that struggled, in his opinion, were Sarah Williams and Gandhi Malou Mamel. The struggles of Gandhi aren't surprising. Everybody knew coming to UConn that she's very raw. How will she develop over the next 2 years? It should be interesting to see. Will she develop or not? With Sarah Williams, first scrimmage, it seems like she's overthinking and trying to do 10,000 things at once. I don't think you'll have a real picture of where she's at until January. And in truth, it's much the same for the risers. It's very exciting that Caroline Ducharme appears to be playing well, but and same thing with Ice Brady and Patterson. So in his opinion, Brady was the best big, but noted that Jana El Alfie didn't play. But is it fool's gold with Brady and Ducharme? You really want to see it when the bullets go live in the real games. Will Ducharme hold up over the season? That's the big concern. Or will she go out with the first shot that she takes? Same thing with Patterson. The Kayla Heckle playing well, not real surprising. It just always looked like a good fit on paper, and you can see how it's sort of shaping out a little bit that KK and Heckle will share the point guard. And then during the scrimmage, Conley said that Fisher, she did some good and bad during the scrimmage. Khalees Fisher did, and you can see how it'll shape out that eventually Heckle will take over as a starter when KK graduates, and then Fisher's going to be the KK that fills in for instant offense. So it's really good the way how it's set up if they can keep everybody at UConn. The other thing that'll be fun to watch is how they put this team together, all the parts and all the talent. I just think this team is going to be devastatingly good, and I can't wait to see how they get rolling in February. All right, now it's over to you. Your comments, your thought, your poison, it's all welcome. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great night.